I want to talk to you today about what I call the 3 levels of intuitive wisdom. This is coming out of my healer's manual that I've written for the Confident Healer. The name of this manual is called Falling into Being Human: Tools and Techniques for Navigating this Energetic World. And there's a wonderful story about why it's called Falling into Being Human, but I'm going to save that for another day, because what I want to focus on today are the 3 levels of intuitive wisdom. Here's the first one. You. You are the first level of intuitive wisdom, because within your own knowing, you have a vast amount of experience, knowledge, guidance, understanding, solutions, that before you go to any other source of wisdom, I want you to start with you. I want you to be your go-to. The first level of intuition gives us the opportunity to move from fear into trust, so that instead of giving away our ability to make wise choices for ourselves by constantly asking other people for their opinions and their advice, or second guessing every thought that comes into our heads, we learn how to trust our inner voice. We learn how to trust our intuition. And one of the best ways that I know of to do this is to start questioning your questions. So I'm going to share with you the exercise that I have in my manual. And this way you can begin to connect with and access that first level of intuition, that first level of wisdom. Okay, so here's the first exercise. Think of a time when you knew deeply and with total conviction that you had the right answers, were making the right choices, and following the best path for yourself. As you connect with how it felt to be in the flow of knowing, allow this feeling to infuse your entire body. This will help you recognize this knowing the next time it happens. So what I want you to do is, with that, thinking about, okay, when was there that time in my life where I really did know what to do, and I followed through with it, and I had an amazing result from it? I want you to write that experience down in as much detail as you can put together for yourself, so that you have that memory really, really clear. And as you're writing it down, what you're doing is you're infusing your cells with the memory of what it was like to know the answer, follow your own guidance, and then have the positive result of it. And I know you've got it somewhere in your story. There's at least one time where you knew, you had the confidence to trust yourself. Okay, the next thing is to question your questions. So I want you to take a moment to allow your most important question right now in your life to surface. And I want it to be something deep. Get honest with yourself. What is that question that you've been asking yourself recently? Should I stay in this relationship? Maybe I need to move. Is now the time to write that book, create that course? Should I talk to my mom and heal that relationship? Whatever it is, I want it to be the thing that is the most important thing to you right now. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is write your question down. Write it down underneath your memory of when you made a wise decision for yourself. Now, and without filtering or judging, allow your higher self to answer the question. Write down the first answer that comes to you. It could be 1 or 2 words. It could be a whole paragraph. Write it down. No filtering, no editing, no judgment. Just let it flow. And once you have your answer, go back and read it again. Are you surprised by what you came up with? Maybe you are. It's also possible that when you read that answer, you realize that you knew all along exactly what you needed to do. So these are 2 ways that you can connect with your own inner knowing, your own wisdom. And what I would suggest that you do as a third method is to become really curious about the choices you have made in your life, even the ones that you regret or you think were the wrong choice. Simply observe those choices, not from a place of self-blame for the result not being what you wanted it to be, Not coming from a place of sinking into a feeling of failure if it didn't work out how you wanted it to, but rather get super curious about it. Ask yourself how and why you came to the conclusions that you came to. Pull back from the event and circumstances and look at the bigger picture. Start to follow the events and connect the dots of what got you to that moment of saying yes or no to whatever it is that came up. And then, and this part's really fun, let your imagination play out what could have happened if you had made a different choice. And I want to be clear about something here. I don't believe in right or wrong choices. Now, the fact that I don't believe in them doesn't mean that they don't exist. It's just that in my worldview, they actually don't exist. We make a decision. We have the experience of that decision. And then we grow. Or we let ourselves stay stuck in the results of that decision. But there is no right or wrong. Every choice is going to bring us to the same place at the end of the day or at the end of our life. And then how we chose to be in the result of that decision becomes our self-empowerment piece around recognizing self-responsibility for the decisions we make and the outcomes of those decisions. Okay, so that is the first level of intuitive wisdom. I'm going to leave you with that to think about and to do the assignments. And when we come back, we'll look at the second level of intuitive wisdom.